Hi, I'm Bart Vale and welcome to my new series produced by Island Home Video. Today's tape is going to cover some techniques against a wrestler. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you. Okay, I'd like to start off with some basic exercises first. I'm going to have Marcus stand in a push-up position here. And what we're going to do is we're going to start with our back arched up, and then we're going to dip down, and as he gets down he's going to stretch the back all the way up and then come right back up to the original spot here. Now let's count them out here. 1, stretch that back, good, all the way up. 2, good. 3, 4, bring the head up, good. 5, very good. Okay, now again, you guys can do as many as you need to do, and what I suggest is start to warm up with them. Do a few, maybe 5 or 10, and then as you get more into that, you want to make the conditioning a little bit longer. What I'm doing is giving you some ideas on some conditionings right now and what you want to do to warm up in that, and then you guys can take them as long as you want to do them in that. You want to do 100, that's fine. Now next thing we're going to do is a sit-up, in a sit-up position for me. Now what I want you guys to do is I want you to tuck the legs in here as tight as you can, so this way we're going to use just the abs all together here. You're not going to use your legs to pull you up, everything has to come up with the abs. So start with the hands behind the head here or up, wherever you want to do, that's okay. Just remember the most important thing here is keeping the legs tucked in. So 1, coming up and back down. 2, good. Now again, you guys don't want anybody holding your legs. What you want to try to do, it's okay to jerk them out or anything like that, but don't have anybody hold the legs, because then what you're doing is you're using this muscle to bring you up. We want to concentrate just here. 3, good. 4 and 5, good. Now again, when you guys are starting this, it doesn't seem very difficult, but what's going to happen here, it's going to be easy for you guys to take your legs out there, stick them out there, and use your legs, or put your legs under something. You don't want to do that, all right? You might be able to do 20, 30 of them with your legs underneath something like that, and only get 5 of these, and this is what you want to do. It's just concentrate on using the stomach while you're doing the exercise here. Okay, now the next exercise I want to do is a squat. I'm going to have him stand straight up. Now on this, stay flat-footed. You want to go straight down and straight up. So 1, straight down. Keep the back as straight as you can and then back up. 2, good. 3, turn an angle for me here. 4, keeping it straight down here. 5, very good, and straight up. Get back facing the front. All right, again, like I said, do as many as you feel you can do in that. Just remember a couple of points here, keeping your back straight as you can. Your feet flat on the floor there. Just keep your hands up, because it's not really important where your hands are at this point. Just keep them up in front of you then. All right, now what we want to do is a little bit of stretching, so I'm going to have them down in a hurdle position. One leg straight out, the other one's bent behind. Now, a lot of you aren't going to like doing this stretch here with the bent leg. Primarily, a lot of people say that this is bad here for the ligament in the knee. Primarily, the reason we do this stretch here is there's techniques that we do against the knee by grabbing the ankle. So what we try to do is we try to condition the ligament in the leg here by stretching it in this position here. So if you feel uncomfortable doing this stretch here, you can take this leg and bend it out in front of you. Bend it out in front of you this way. I just bend it in this way. You can do it this way here. Okay, because right now, put it back for me again here. Right now what I'm trying to do is we're just trying to stretch this muscle here, so I'm going to have him go straight down towards that knee. Keeping the knee straight. Now, I know a lot of you guys come up for me for a second. A lot of you guys are going to bend up like this. Here, bend it a little bit for me. Just bend it up. Make it straight though. Now bend it up. Like this and then stretch. Because you want to be able to touch your knee. You don't want to do this. You want to here, straight, and you might only be able to go halfway. That's okay. But what we're doing is we're stretching the legs. Get down as far as you can here. Hold it for a second. Come back up. Take the pressure off. And then go back down there. Try to exhale as you're doing it. This way it makes it a little bit easier to stretch. Then go to the center. Just push them down. Same thing. Exhaling, going down. And then back up. One more time for me there. Good. And now over to the bent leg. Exhale, going down. Good. Come back up for me. And then back down again. Okay, then right from here, I just want you to lay back. Now what's going to happen when you lay back is this leg is going to come up off the floor, which is okay. And what you want is just a weight of that, just to hold it down so you stretch this muscle right here. Okay, just hold it for a couple of seconds and stuff like that. If you feel real uncomfortable with it, bring it up for a second there, and then bring it right back down there so you're stretching it here. All right, now let's get up for me. Now we're doing stretch the upper body. Okay, now what I'm doing is have the arm behind here, I'm going to hold the elbow and I'm going to grab the wrist. Now, I'm going to push the arm back, but I'm going to use the elbow and not the wrist. So when I push it back, I'm doing this. Okay, try to avoid doing this because this is bad on the shoulder, then also on the elbow. So what we want to do is this. You hold it here for like a count of 10, then you take the other side, do the same thing on the other side. Just push it back. I'm just controlling it with this hand right now here, and I'm pushing back with this hand here. And that's where it's stretching this back muscle back here for me. Then the next one I want to do, hands behind the back here, I got the thumbs up, and I'm going to just slowly bring the arms to each other here. Just get them like a count of 10 from here, and then you can let them go. Okay, now what we want to do is, I want to stretch the back, so what I want you to do is get down on your stomach for me. Lay flat down. Move back just a little bit from me. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put his arms up on my legs. So I'm grabbing his arms here, I'm putting them up on my legs here, and I'm gently sitting down on his cam. Now, what I want to do is I want to put my hands on his chest, not on his throat. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lean back here, so I stretch his back there. He taps on me here, and then I just get him a count of 10 here so he stretches his lower back. Now be real careful not to do this because you're going to hurt him. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to help him down so he comes down in this position here so he doesn't drop on his nose. Now I want to back up into fighting position here. Just make sure everything's moving on you good and stuff like that. What I want to do is get down on your hands and knees and on your head. Okay. Now what we're going to try to do here is I want you guys to remain on your hands and on your knees. We're going to exercise the neck here. We're going to start on the top of the head here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to roll to the nose and then back. Just stay right now. Just stay on your hands and knees. I don't want you up on your toes, and I want to make sure that your hands stay on the floor right now. Do another one for me. Just roll it as far as you can. Back and forth again. Good. One more for me. Good. All right, now from here, we're going to flip onto our back. Get onto your back. Now again, we're staying on the feet, hands, and the head. Now what we're going to try to do here, if we can move this arm back a little bit for me here, just keep it on the floor there. We're going to try to get our nose to come down and touch the mat. All right, so what you want to do is you want to push, get in the nose, and then back up again for me here. And again, you might not be able to reach the floor there, which is okay these first couple of times here, but what you want to try to do, that's the direction you want to roll, just back and forth like that, just rolling it back and forth. Good. One more for me. Just roll it back tight. Push. Good. Good. Back up into fighting stance position for me. All right. Now what we want to do is we want to go through a couple of kicks and punches here. Now what we do is start in a fighting position here. Now, what you guys want to do is try to figure out the best way for you to fight. Okay, some people say, yeah, it's good for me to fight this way. Some people want to switch and fight this way. This is comfortable for me to fight this way because I'm right-handed. And this is real good for me to do stuff like this. The problem with fighting with my power side forward is I'll never be a knockout fighter because I need my body weight here behind me to throw this strike. So this is the way that we should fight because I'm right-handed. So what you guys want to do is you want to figure out what hand you are, whether you're right hand or left hand. And the easiest way, don't say, well, I can do this with my right hand and do this with my left hand. Whatever you write your name with, that's what hand you are. You're right-handed, you're back like this. This is how you're going to fight. Okay? Now, I'm sure that you probably wanted to do this and this because this is real good and fast. Believe me, I kickboxed for years and that, and it was right. I wanted to do this too because this was good. And then when I hit this guy here, nothing would happen. He'd look at me. All right, so it took me years to work on fighting this way. So I had to develop this quick and then come in with this. The power was there already. So what we want to do is, come a little closer to me here, is we want to fight our fighting stance right from here. I know I'm right-handed, so my right side's behind me. I don't want to fight like this because then I eliminate my right side. So what I want to do is I want to be slightly forward here, and then I want to turn my shoulders to my opponent. So this way, both hands are pretty well even right now. And this is where I stay in my fighting stance. So I got both shoulders facing my opponent so they're even. This old way of doing it was okay. The only problem with this was I could never use my back side. So if you guys start off like this is another way to get used to doing the stance. If you start off this way, take the back foot and just step it slightly forward. Another way to look at your stance here, both of my feet, let me face the camera straight here, both of my feet are standing straight. All right, if I was to walk on a line, both my feet, one's on the right side of the line and one's on the left side. Very simple like this. Okay, so in order for me to get in my fighting stance, I want to take my right side and put it on that same line it was originally on. All right, I don't go behind my foot and then I just turn my feet. Now I'm in a fighting stance perfect, and here I am right here. And this is where I want to start. Don't do this, because then you're not in your stance. All right, if you have to, take 2 pieces of tape, put them on the floor. All right, get them 6 inches from each other, straight on the floor like this. And you put your feet on it. Then look back where your tape is and put your foot back on your tape there and turn, and there you're in your fighting stance. All right, let me have my student back in here. I find my fighting stance. All right, here I am in my fighting stance. The next thing we want to find is our range. Okay, you always range yourself with the back side, not with the front side. Right now, we're perfect. He can't hit me, and I can't hit him. There's nothing we can do. Right here is where we'd start. We're going to start a fight. This is where we want to start from, right here. This is no good, all right, because he can hit me here, I can hit him here. This is even worse, because neither one of us can ever hit each other. So we find just where we're right here. I want to come just a little bit closer for me. I'll move in and out. This is where I want to be, because I can't really hit him, and he can't really hit me. So now you're going to sit there and say, well, then why do we want to stand here? Because we can't hit each other. Primary thing then, this foot stays stationary. It's this foot that moves, then I can hit him, and I can come back here. So when I fight, I'm doing this. So every time it comes this way here. Never this. All right, this stays stationary, do this. You watch a good boxer and that he always moves in like this. Everything's moving like this. All right, now we're not going to worry about stepping right now. What we're doing is just worrying about doing our exercises from our range. Because what I want you to do is I want you to be in a perfect position to where you want to fight from on a regular basis. So when you face your opponent, you know this is no good. This is not where you want to be when you fight your opponent. You want to be right here. Now I'm perfect. All right. What we're going to do from this range right now is we're going to do a roundhouse kick to the leg. This is my target right here. Anywhere from here to here. This is going to be my weapon right here. Try to avoid using the foot. 2 reasons why we don't want to use the foot. One of the reasons, let me just use your foot. Let me bend it up here for me. One of the reasons is this moves too easy. Okay, so if you hit with this, it's just going to bend over. Second reason is these bones up here break real easy. All right, this nice and solid. Okay, so this is what we want to use right here, back in our fighting stance. Now, all we're going to do right now is not going to try to kill each other with it then. What we want to try to do is get the rotation of the hip as we throw the kick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the leg up on him, push. All right, this is all I'm going to do here. I'm not kicking him. We're not kicking now. All we're going to do is we're going to just bring it up and push it. What you try to do is you try and take it as if there was a string attached from your hip. And you're just pushing it down. So let me have you come up here for a second. Come up this way here. So if we had a string from here to here, and you push it this way. So everything rotates on this hip right here. And that's where you're going to get your power off the kick, especially off the back side here. So what we're doing is we're rotating the hip as we're doing it. So what you want to try to do is get a habit of doing that without killing each other. Very easy, just put it on, push it. And that's all you got to do. Okay, very simple. Now the next thing I want to show is a push kick. We're going to go off the back leg. It's easier to use the back leg first because I can balance myself on the front because I'm coming forward. So as I come forward, I'm just putting up, push. Now let's show it one more time here. Now what we're going to do is when you use an opponent in that, make sure that he keeps his stomach tight. Try to hit him right in the belly area, all right? So this way we're not doing any damage. I'm using the ball of the foot, which is underneath the toes here. All right, so all I'm doing is I'm coming straight up here and out. Okay, very simple, push kick. Okay, so what we covered was a roundhouse kick to the leg, tie kick, whatever you want to call it. The next thing is a push kick. We're going into the abdomen area. Now the next thing is a jab. The jab is usually done with the front hand, so don't ever think you're going to use the back hand for the jab. So the jab is coming straight out. Now when you do the jab, the most important thing, and most people fail to realize, is that when you throw a punch, you're open. All right, there's no way around it. This is open, this could be open. Very few people ever get knocked out from a body punch. everybody gets knocked out from a head punch. So the most important thing to protect is the head. So when we do it, we want the head down, shoulders slightly up, and the punch comes out this way here. So now this is open. This I'll catch the top of the head here, which will not knock him out. Or if it does, it's very difficult to do it, and that not usually happens from hitting the top of the head. This here, really easy to knock him out. All right, so you want to keep this down all the time here, set up just this way here, hands straight out. You want straight line from here to here. Everything follows the straight line. And then you just bring it straight back. Now I'm going to show you what I'm going to do here. I'm coming head slightly down, shoulders slightly up, and I'm coming straight out like this. Now when you throw the strike, what you want to do is get a habit of breathing. And when I say breathing, I know you're breathing. Everybody breathes in and out. But what we want to do is every time the strike is thrown, we want to exhale. So I throw my strike, I exhale. Now look at me from the front here. When I throw it here, my shoulder's up. I can feel my ear touching my shoulder, and my chin is down. My right hand's up on this side here. And that's the correct position you want to be in when you're doing it. The only thing I want to add now is exhaling, so all I'm doing is just like that. Okay, back in position for me here. Again, we found our range. We're perfect exactly where we want, so we can't hit each other. Yet we can still practice from this position. Now the next thing I want to do is a cross. And a cross always usually comes from the back side here, and the reason it's called a cross is because it crosses the center line. You make an X here. The jab can come on a straight line. The cross always crosses the center line. It always does this. And usually if you do it correctly, you don't have to anticipate the turn. Your hip turns the cross. And that's where the name came from with cross. So I'm pivoting off the hip here. It turns. I'm off the foot. I'm off the heel. I'm on the ball of the foot. It's coming straight up, straight to my target there. Again, straight line there. My head's down, my shoulder's up, and my left hand here is up on the left-hand side of my head. And I'm back in position. And again, I'm going to exhale when I do it. So what I'm doing is, and back, and back. So again, you can see where I'm out of my range here. I'm in perfect fighting position for this opponent right now. But you can see I can throw a full power here and not hit him, because primarily everything has to be set here. And that's where I would actually hit him from, is when this foot works. So when you guys practice, if you're practicing with your friend or opponent, make sure you're right in this position here to where you can do your movements perfect, so you can throw a full strike, full counters and everything like that right from this position here. Okay, now, I covered what I wanted to cover with the warm-up and the exercise and that. Now what I want to do is get into some techniques here. So I'm going to just have you on this side for me, please. What we're doing is we're working on techniques against a wrestler. Now, usually what a wrestler would do is try to wrestle you down to the ground. Now, what I want to do again is I want to start in my fighting position here. Now, I can't figure out what kind of fighting position he has. That's entirely up to him. It doesn't matter to me. What I am concerned with, knowing that he's a wrestler, chances are he's going to come in like a wrestler would. So we're back up, I'm up in my fighting position. He's just like in a ready position here. All right. Now, when he sets off, what we're working on right now is somebody doing a single leg takedown. So we know exactly what's happening here. We know exactly what we're going to work for. So I know he's coming for this leg right now. So as he comes for this leg here, what I'm going to throw is a strike to the head with my knee. All right, so all we have to do is come up, put the hip into it as you throw it, which is going to stun him and slow him down. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come around the face, get up behind here. I'm going to sit him down, back him up at a 45-degree angle here, and then I'm going to just push the head forward here. Now, as you saw, what he did here was tap. One thing that's very important is tapping. What's happening here is my opponent, who is my training partner right now, that's working with me, is telling me it's bothering him. Okay, now there's two kinds of tapping. One which means stop, and one that means go. Okay, so it's very important to learn the language here. This is definitely stop. So if I'm doing this here, and I do something, let's say for instance I'm doing this technique here, he taps out. Now I'll do it like this. And then he might have to twist his neck around or whatever there, and he goes back into position, goes right back to where he was, and then he lets me know when he's ready for me to start again. And then I can follow up with my technique. What he does is he's telling me what's going on here. He's saying, okay, something happened there. I wasn't quite, you didn't really have it, but something wasn't quite right. Let go, held my position. He fixed whatever was uncomfortable for him. He told me, go ahead and go. And what you guys want to do is respect each other for that. Don't anticipate anything. Don't think, well, I don't got anything. You don't know what this guy's feeling. Okay, and as you start learning these techniques, you're going to be really surprised at how painful they are and how easy it is to apply the technique without doing a whole lot of effort. One thing that you've got to understand is it's not strength that does the movement, it's the technique that does the movement. Everything's lined up perfect. When I do this technique, I start off with his back straight, but when it ends up, I end him off at a 45-degree angle. Being off at a 45-degree angle here is going to put all the pressure on his neck. Then I turn his head, and his head's being forced all the way towards the back of his body. So I'm pulling my hands together like this, and then I push the head down. So everything's on his neck, all the pressure. All my body weight is sitting right here on top of his neck. Okay, which makes it really easy to damage his neck. So as soon as he tells me my tap and what's going on here, I stop, help him up, put him back in position and that, because he's working with me right now. We're training with each other now. We want to make sure that both of us are protected all together here, no problem. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have two of the students work on this technique here while I explain everything that's going on. So what we'll do is we'll have John come on in here. You can get on this side for me, John. We'll start with Marcus coming in on the single leg. Now, what we want to get accomplished here first, as the shoot fighter, John is going to have to determine what this guy is going to do. Now, as a wrestler, you can automatically tell if the wrestler is like this. This is usually a wrestling position. Very rarely does a wrestler come in like this. So right away, you look at positioning on this opponent here to understand that he's a wrestler. He's going to come in and grab. Usually, when they're coming in for a single leg is, we're giving him the single leg. He's shifting his weight. You see why Marcus shifted his weight here? So he's shooting for this leg here. Now, what John has to do is position himself to where he can support his body weight on his back leg. Now, as he shifts his weight just slightly back, there's very little shift. He's shifting his weight back so he can just bring this up. And that's all the movement is. You start off evenly on both feet. So you shift it just a little bit back. So as soon as Marcus made that little turn, we make our little adjustment right here, and then this leg can come straight up. So get back in position here for me. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put everybody real close right now so we can show exactly what's coming on here. Now as he shoots in, John's going to try and get this knee straight up to the face, which will slow our wrestler down. And also it sets up for that cross face, because it's going to bring the head right up here. Even if our wrestler had his head tucked in real nice and tight, you catch the head like this, it's bringing it out here. Then John wants to use this side of his arm, the ridge bone. Okay, right here is what you want to use across his face. So he's going to come straight across the face this way. Now what he's going to do is step around, locking up on the shoulder here. Now what he did, keep this down just a little bit for me here. He supports the back here to keep Marcus from spinning. The problem, back up just for a second for me, John. What happens here, if you don't lock up on this and you do this, you spin the guy around. You got nothing. Okay, so what I do is I do this and this. This way he can't spin, he's locked. So what you guys got to do is once you start across his face here, you got to get this hand locked up against the back. Just push it in. Come back in here for me, John. Okay, so anchor this down here so it's locked here. Perfect. Nice and tight. There's no space in here. Real nice and tight is where you want it. Nice and snug here. Now he's going to sit him back down. Just keep stepping back there. Now he backs him off at a 45. All right, so you see this angle here. Let's come back up here for a second. Here's where he starts. At this particular point in time, the guy on the ground here is safe. He has no problem here. So what John has to do, keeping his head nice and tight, this is quite uncomfortable, but not a submission technique here. He moves him off at a 45. Now, Daddy's off at a 45-degree angle. He's going to take his chest, push it forward. As he pushes his chest forward, he pulls his arms into him, which does the technique there. All right, let's try it one more time up here. And then what we're going to do is we'll show you a different angle with having John come in on the other side there. Now remember a couple of things here is, first again, your distance on your angle here on your fighting stance. Very important for John to be able to shift his weight to the back foot to execute that front knee. So as soon as Marcus comes in, John's going to execute that front knee. Right, stuns him for a second there, then reach down for the cross face. Sit him back down. Good, anchor that hand down. Keep that anchored down. 45-degree angle, and then push it forward. Good, very nice. All right, let's try it on the other side now so you guys can see a different angle. Stay on. Stay right there. Back in our fighting stance. Okay, what's going to happen now is John is going to shoot in. I'm going to stay on this side so that I can explain it from this side here so that you can see what's happening here. Again, Marcus is going to shift his weight so that everything's on here, and then come straight up with the knee. Good. Then come down, do the cross face there. Now, as you can see, you got to anchor the arm down here, tight. The head's tight here. Roll him down onto his cam. Good. Now, keep him off straight for me first here. Start him off straight here. Everything's straight. Then he's going to back him up, and then just push the head forward. Very good. Let's try it one more time now. Okay, in our fighting position here. Okay, get this way for me here. Hands up, both of you guys. Okay, you're going to be a little bit more like the wrestler type. As soon as he makes that shift, you shift the hip. Good. Straight up with the knee. Good. Drop in. Right? Set him back. And then push it forward. Very good. All right, back up in our fighting stance position now. All right, let's have John out for me for a second here. Okay, Marcus is back in the fighting stance. All right, now the next technique we're going to work on, the guy's going to come in for a single leg takedown, and I'm going to stun him with a strike. Now what I'm going to do is I'm trying to use a jab, but as I do this, as he comes forward here, I'm not going to hit him with a jab, I'm just going to hit him with an open hand strike. All right, which isn't going to do any damage to my hand or any damage to him. As a wrestler, he's probably used to getting hit on a regular basis because of the fact when you're wrestling, you're always going to have elbows and knees and everything hitting you. So it's going to stun him. It's also going to bring him in a little bit lower, and he's still going to shoot for that single leg takedown. Now what I'm going to do is I got this arm open here, and this is what I'm going to do is I'm going to come across and over his body doing a rolling T-arm. Now what I'm going to do is I'm coming this way here. I'm going to bring my right leg over. So I'm going to grab the arm, bringing the leg over, rolling him this way here into the T-arm bar. Now, when I do the T-arm bar, the most important thing is my leg over his head. This is the important one. This one's okay if it doesn't get over the body. I can still do it. Very difficult if you don't get this leg over the head. So this is my key leg over the head here. Now the next important thing is keeping this arm tied up to me. So I try to get my hip in as close to his shoulder as I can, and I make this arm straight. Now I hold his head down with my legs. I hold the arm down to my chest here, and then all I do is bring the hip up. Now what I did was I released it here because I want to show the extension from here. I tried to go up this high to do it. I didn't want to break his arm, so just hold here, and then it's just up like this. And that's all the extension I need on that to do it. Now let's watch one more time here from our fighting stance. I'll take it nice and slow and show you what's going on here. As he shoots, I catch him here. He's still coming back in here. Now I use his body weight, putting my weight on it to control me. All right, because let's face it, he's going to have a hold of my leg here. He's going to get me down to the ground if I don't react really quick. I'm going to position my weight over a little bit here. I'm going to dive for this arm as I bring this leg over the body. I have to roll forward. As I do it, I roll him over with me. My leg goes over the head. His arm comes tight up against my body, so everything's held real tight here. As you can see, his arm's already straight. It's almost hyperextended already. And then just hips come up, and that hyperextends the elbow right here. Now, again, I'm releasing it here. When you guys hold it here, you try to bring the hips up as high as you can. All right? Don't hold this and then do this. You see what happened? I let go of his arm. This has to stay here. Then this goes up. And that's all there is to the technique. All right, now we're going to have the students come in here. John, again, please, for me over here. Okay, we're back in our fighting position here. Now, what's going to happen here is a common thing here. As soon as one person makes a movement towards the next person, you want to react to it, whatever it is. This is usually the quickest movement. Right? The jab was always designed to set up the right cross. So what you want is you want that hand to come out real nice. As soon as he makes a movement, you want that hand to just come out. Now what we're doing is we're opening the hand so we don't hurt our hand or our opponent. So back in position here, as soon as he steps towards him, that hand comes striking out there. Stuns him for a second, but he's still coming back in, gets around the leg now. Now he has to adjust his weight. He's going to reach for the arms, or the arm with his arms. He's going to bring the right leg over and then roll. Over. Good. Tight here. Hold this one down. Just put this one straight for me, John, so you hold that down. This can be tight here. Okay, remember, like I said before, this leg is an important leg. It has to hold the head down here. This one can go over the body. You can get away with cheating on this one. You can get away with cheating on this one by putting it even tucked over here. If you want, it would still work. If you get it over the body, it's going to work a lot better. Now again, the other thing here is the shoulder is real tight up against your body here. Arm comes straight down onto your chest here. Now again, you got to make sure that you're up on the elbow here. So what you could do is you can follow his hand here. It's kind of like a foot. You take a foot, for instance, here. You look at the foot here, you know where the knee's at. All right, it's very common. If his foot's turned like this, you know the knee's over there. Right, so we got the same thing here. You got the thumb here or the palm here, you know where the elbow is. If you got it like this, you know you're not in a good spot here. So you got to have the palm up, tight up against your body here. Tight up against here, and then just bring this up. Right there, and that's all there is to it. Now again, be real careful on doing this technique here, because what you got is you got his arm completely extended right now. Okay? He has nowhere to move. All right? When you go against this, you're going to rip the elbow. So you got to be real careful here. So what you want to do is just start off nice and easy, just coming up for me, John. There, and that's it. He let you know, and he releases it. Again, what I don't want you to do is, as you bring the hips up, bring these arms up. Because then you're taking off all this space here. You're taking away from the technique then. The arm is still extended, but no pressure on it. So go back down for me. This starts off tight. Everything's tight. You hold it all tight. Tight here. Everything has to be tight, and then hips up. Very nice. Okay, now we're going to show another angle that we'll get in our fighting stance position. All right. Now we're going to have him shoot in, strike, grab the leg. Now, what's most important here is taking the back leg and position it, because of the fact that he's going to have all his weight still driving forward on this leg. Our opponent up here is standing and has to react real quick. He has to shift his weight. As he shifts his weight, he has to see this arm here. He catches this arm, brings the leg over the body, and does the roll. Moving out of the way there. Good. Now again, we're back straight over the head. Important one, bring it flat down for me. Over here like this, nice and tight. This stays tight up against the body here. If you have to look at the thumb or the palm to figure out where the hand's at, do that, and then just straight up with the hips. Very good. All right, back in our fighting stance position. Okay, now we're going to go to another technique, so let me have you out for a second. John, back in our fighting stance here. All right, again, our wrestler is going to be shooting in on a single leg takedown. Now, when he shoots in, I'm going to switch the feet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the front foot to the back and the back foot to the front. Now, what I'm going to do is I want to show you real quick how I'm going to do this without making it too difficult. I do not want to do this. Okay, what I did was shift my whole body from one side to the other. We don't want to do that. We want to keep our body still in this direction here and just switch the feet. That's all I'm doing. So all I'm doing is coming from the front foot, I'm bringing it to the back foot to the front, so I'm doing this and not this. It's no good. All right, this is what we want to do. So what I'm doing is I'm moving this foot out of the way. However, this being an experienced wrestler, I move this leg out of the way, which is going to make it difficult for him to get this leg, but then he's going to get this leg here. So watch what we're going to do from here. We're in our fighting position here. As he shoots, I'm switching. Now what he's going to do is he's going to shoot for the other leg here. He's going to come to the other leg here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to spin around this way, taking the arm, dropping back, again doing the T-arm bar. Now we'll show it here a little bit slower and explain to you what we're doing. As he shoots it, I'm realizing he's coming for this leg, so I want to move it. I can't just move it without positioning my weight, so what I do is I just change my feet into different direction here. This foot is now out of the way, but now this foot's here. This wrestler sees this leg and he's just going to hook around this leg, trying to take me down with a single leg on the other side. What I'm going to do is I'm going to spin around 180 degrees here, so I'm coming around this way. Now what I do is I got his arm in between my legs already. And all I have to do is fall back, right into my T-arm bar again. Again, the leg over the head, tight up against the head, arm tight up against the body. This leg's over the body here so that it keeps him snug down here. And then all I gotta do is just bring the hips up. And that's the technique. Now what we do is put our students in here, and I'll explain what we're doing. Okay, back in our fighting stance. All right, we're gonna have Marcus come in on a single leg. John's gonna switch the legs. Marcus is gonna go to the other leg. John's gonna spin around, grabbing the arm, dropping back. Okay, tight, this has to be straight down, straight, make it straight. So you hold this down, this is okay. You guys don't want to get in the habit of bending the leg up like this here, because then you're going to give him movement here, or make it easier for him to push the leg off and so forth. So what you want to do is, you want to push down on this, you want to hold this down as tight as you can. This one here, just snug over the body. This doesn't have to really try to hold him down. This one has to try and hold him down. Tight up against the body there, and then just hips up. Good. Let's show another angle on that. Okay, let's come this way for me here. Okay, now we're going to switch. Switch feet, good. All right, come all the way around. Okay, now what I'm going to do is come this way for me, John, just a little bit so we can show this angle right there for me here. Put your knee down for me, John. Okay, back up for me again, Marcus, back to where you were, so I can show them coming around here. Hold that leg right there. Stay where you were, John. Right there. I'm going to show this angle right here. Now what he's going to do is, as John comes around for the leg here, Marcus realizes that the leg's between, his arm is between the leg, so he's just going to spin around, putting it right between his legs, and then just dropping back. As he drops back, tight over the head, over the body, tight up against his chest, and then hips up. Very good. Okay, now we're going to go to our next technique here. Again, we're starting our fighting stance. Now this time, what our opponent's going to do, instead of shooting to the outside of my body, he's going to shoot towards the inside of my body, almost as if he's going to do like a double leg takedown. So theoretically, what he's doing is he's coming straight in for the back leg. Usually when you do a double leg takedown, you follow a straight line from the front foot to the back foot, and you try to catch him. So just stepping in a little bit closer for me. If I was going to do a double leg takedown on him, this leg is the leg that I keep my eye on. And as I shoot for that leg, I try to catch this leg, so I bring both legs together. But primarily I'm coming on this side here. And that's the easiest way to do a double leg takedown, is you try to get both legs to come together. So what he does is he focuses on the back leg, he tries to catch the front leg with this, and he's coming shooting straight in this way. Now, this is going to give me a little bit more time, because if he was coming for a front leg, he'd be there already. He's coming for the back leg, so I got just a little bit more time. What I'm going to do is execute a knee straight up here, which will stun him for a second here. Then what I'm going to do is hook my arms. Now what I'm going to do is an under and over hook. The left hand here, my left hand is coming over, my right hand is coming under. Now I'm going to hold him and support him here, and then I'm going to spin him around onto his cam. Now again, his back's going to be straight up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my weight forward, bringing him off at a 45-degree angle. So I come this way. Now for me to put the technique on, I'm going to push my arm up and my shoulder back, so I do this right here. So what I'm doing is this. Now again, we'll start from this position right here. We got him straight. I bring him off at a 45 here. I got this arm up. And what I'm doing is I'm pushing the arm away here and the head down, and this is what I'm doing on it. So I'm going to get back in position here. I'm like this. He's off at a 45-degree angle here. And all I got to do is take this arm here. My right arm has to come up. And as it comes up, it's going to push my shoulder down, which is going to put pressure on his head. So I'm just doing this. And that's all there is to this technique here. Let's show it one more time here. From our fighting position here. He's shooting for the double leg. I'm coming up with a knee here, stunning for a second there and hooking the arms here. Get the left on top, the right underneath, spinning him around on this can here, setting him off at a 45-degree angle here, arm up, shoulder back. And that's the technique here. Now we're going to have the students come in. All right, from our fighting stance position here. Good, hands up, all right. And again, Marcus is shooting in for the double leg. John's going to come straight up with back leg, knee into the body there. Right hand underneath, tight. Left hand underneath, holding tight here. Then he's going to spin him around, sit him down, walk him out a little bit at a 45-degree angle here. Now what he's done, he's on one knee, standing up on one foot. So what John is down in this position here, so he can actually walk forward here. Don't do this. You sit down on both knees here, you're dead, then you lost your balance. This way here, you at least have your balance here. And he's holding them this way. Now he steps a little bit more forward for me, just so I can show you go forward. Okay, now, taking the right hand coming up, and then just push back with the shoulder. Very good. Okay, let's show another angle on that. We'll have the other side. Okay, shoot in. Knee comes straight up. Under and over. Good, nice and tight. Good balance, okay? Spin them around. Sit them down. Walk them out 45 for me. Okay, now up with the right and push the shoulder back. Very good. Okay, let's get back up. Okay, John, out for me for a second here. All right, the next technique we're going to come into is where the guy's going to shoot in and then come up and get around the waist. So he's going to shoot straight in, like a single leg, step onto the other leg, coming up, getting around my waist here. All right? This is a good position for him to take you down as far as a belly-to-belly suplex or just throw you over to the side. What I have to do here is I have to stun him for a second, so I'm coming with my backhand, elbow to the head here. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my front leg and step behind his back leg, take him down to the ground. Now as I take him down to the ground, I keep this arm tight up against my body, so it's locked up against my body here. And I hold him down in this position here. Now this is not a submission hold here. This is just controlling him, and this is too easy for him to get out of here. What I'll do is just move a little bit this angle here for me. All right, so this is the angle I'm in. Let's just move this hand out of the way here so I can show where I'm going to go. What I'm going to do now is a technique against his head. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put my knee down on his face, keeping his arm up here. I'm going to take my other knee and put it behind his head so I have his head squeezed between my leg here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just roll my back leg up his chest. And that applies the technique. So what I did here, just put this down for a second here. One knee's here, the other one's back to head here, and then I turn the head up this way. So I'm taking my legs, I'm rolling it up the head. Just kind of like a can of sardines. When you open up a can of sardines, you put the little key in there and you just kind of roll it up. So what I'm doing to him here is I got his head here and I'm just rolling it up his body with my legs. Let's watch it one more time here. Okay, he's shooting in, gets up around my waist, comes up, I strike with an elbow. Take him down to the ground here, keeping his arm tight up against my body here. Drop the knee down on the face there. I'm going to move this hand out of the way so you can see what we're doing here. Move this just a little bit for me. Here. Lock the head with the other leg here, and then just roll it up. And that's the technique here. Okay, back up for me. Let's have our students in. Okay, we're going to have Marcus shoot in around the waist. Now, one thing that John has to react real quick here on the fact that as soon as the wrestler gets around the waist here, he's going to be able to take him over. What he has to do is react here by striking him with an elbow to stun him for a second. As soon as he comes back with the elbow, he has to step behind, take him down off balance. Now what he does is he keeps this arm locked up between his body, underneath his arm, and against his body, using his knee as a lever here. Then what he does is drop the right knee on the face, slide the other knee up behind the head, and then just roll it. All right, let's get right here for me 1 second here. Come back up here. Well, let's just show the back angle of it. Should be okay. Let's have the other side go now. Ready? All right, here. Okay, again, tight. Elbow straight. Good. Come behind. Taking him down. Push down. Good. Okay, wait 1 second for me. Let's just move you, John, just a little this way. Get a little tighter for me. Okay. Now, knee comes down on the face here. The other leg comes up behind here, the head. Here, straight, pinch up tight, and then just roll it up the body. Very good. Okay, back up in our fighting position here. Okay, up for me. Okay, now we're gonna have a technique where the opponent comes straight in on us. Kind of maybe like what a football tackler would do or something like that. He's coming straight in for me, so primarily his head is designed in this area here. It's not coming to the inside or to the outside, it's coming straight in. As he comes straight in, I'm going to lock up over his body here. I can grab the arms, pull him in here. I'm going to keep his head snug up against my body. I'm going to move this hand out of the way for a second. I'm going to use this part of my arm here. It's going to go across his face like this. I lock up against his neck here. Now I'm going to lock up against his arm and put my hand on top of my arm here. Now what I do, I'm going to use this arm to push this arm up. As I push this arm up, the one across his face, I'm going to use my chest to push his head down. I'm coming in this position here, and then just here. And that's all there is to the technique here. So again, what we got is cross the face here, snug. You got to lock this up. You can't do it down here. Tight. What's happening here is this hand here is going to support this hand from sliding down. So this way I'm nice and snug, I'm able to apply the technique at this point. Okay, let's have the students in here. Okay, back in our fighting position here, it's going to shoot straight in. Good, hold him, control him. Lock across the face. And what he's doing is using this part of the arm across the face there. Has his head, his chest over the head there, keeping it from moving. Locks his hand that goes around the face up on this arm here so this hand can't move nowhere. And then just push this one up. Very good. All right, let's show another angle on it. All right, again, keeping it tight, across the face. Good, and then just, okay, do this side for me here. Okay, so we'll see what happens going here. Keeping it straight across this way in this lock. Now one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to lose the head on the side here. You don't want it underneath your arm. Okay, you're going to lose the technique here. It has to stay up in front of your chest. So this way you use your chest to keep it nice and tight right there. Arm tight across here, locked up in here, tight up on the chest there, and then just arm up. Very good. That concludes my tape on shoot fighting against a wrestler. Remember, practice the movements, go over them constantly, and I'll see you on the next tape.